Hello, everyone. I'm coming on live to do the next video on the Chakras for Beginners series. So today's video is all on the heart chakra. Okay, if this is your first time tuning into one of my videos and you don't yet know who I am, my name is Stef. I'm a psychic soul alignment coach, and what I do is I work with spiritual entrepreneurs to help them to create their greatest level of success, influence, impact, and income. And I don't just exclusively work with spiritual entrepreneurs. I work with spiritual people who are on the healing journey, who are wanting to deepen their spiritual connection, and they want to do that through deeper healing, to raise their consciousness and be able to do that and become powerful creators. So that is how I help people. Every Friday, I come on here onto my YouTube channel to do a video teaching that I'm guided to speak on. But this week, I was asked to speak on the different chakras, the energy centers that we have in our bodies, and to explain how imbalances can show up in our lives and in our bodies when we have imbalances in these energy centers. So that is what I've been doing this week. If you're watching this at a later time, there will be videos up here somewhere in the cards section for you to go and check out the playlist for these chakras and the past videos that I've done already. So I have a video that gives you a rundown of the chakras in case you're totally new to this stuff. And then I have done a video on the root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, and today the heart chakra. That is what it's all about. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video teaching. And right after I finish doing this video, I will also be speaking on, what is the best way to support racial equality without spiritually bypassing the Black Lives Matter movement, right? So that's what I was guided to speak on as well after this. So if you're interested in creating a new earth, a better world for all of us, if you want to know what you can do to help create harmony in the world, then I definitely suggest that you go and check that video out. Once I do that, I will create a playlist for these videos on spiritual bypassing and spiritual activism. That's the name of the playlist. It just came to me. So spiritual activism, that's what we're going to call it. So definitely check that out. I will also put that up here somewhere whenever I do those videos so that you can go check out that playlist and all those videos on there. All right, awesome. So thank you so much for sticking around for this really long intro if you have. I really do appreciate you. If this video is a little bit too long for you, because sometimes they are a little bit lengthy, I do very in-depth teachings, then definitely use the settings button on the YouTube stuff to increase the speed of this video if that helps to watch it more quickly. All right, cool. Let's get into it. So today's video is all around the heart chakra and how imbalances show up when we have these imbalances in this energy center. So your heart chakra is here around the middle of your chest, okay? It's not directly above you or like on your heart chakra space. I believe it's a little bit above your heart chakra space. And it's a pretty, good, decent sized chakra. So there's like a front end to it, a back end to it. So it comes out like your back as well. And this energy center here, okay, is your fourth chakra. So this develops around maybe when you're about 3.5 years old to maybe when you're about like 7 or 8 years old. This is the energy center that develops because they develop as we grow up here in the human existence, right? Or the experience. So this is the next energy center that develops. And what I've learned, and I didn't mention this in the previous videos, but there are like these elements that go with the chakra centers. So the root chakra has the element of earth because again, it's our root chakra. It's at the base of our spine. So it's the part that comes into contact with the earth. It's how we ground to this earthly plane. The second chakra, the sacral, which I spoke about, has the element of water. Water is, connected to emotions and flowing with life. So that is that chakra. The third chakra, the solar plexus, is connected to the element of fire, which I spoke a lot about in that video, and fire and being able to take action on things. And so this fourth chakra here, the heart chakra, is connected to the element of air. And, air is everywhere and we can't always really see it, but we can feel it and it's everywhere, right? And so that is kind of what this heart chakra represents, because this energy center of ours is about our capacity to be able to unconditionally love ourselves and others, and to have connection and to have that experience or that feeling of oneness with all that is, right? So just like air, it's everywhere, right? All around. That's what it kind of represents in this sense, okay? Our heart chakra also is the place where we are able to integrate both the physical world, the material world, as well as the spiritual world. Because again, we have 7 chakras with the 7 chakra system here, because there's other systems. And so we have 3 up here, and then we do places, the upper and the lower chakras meet where they connect. So it's that from the bottom up, that earthly plane, from the top down, the spiritual plane, connecting in this one space, right? So this is where we're able to integrate the 2 worlds, so to speak, okay? Where we're able to also in part materialize, but also be able to anchor in more easily that spiritual side of ourselves with this human vessel. That's how I see it. It's like you're being able to more easily integrate the energy, the consciousness, the way of being, especially the way of being of your higher self, of your soul, in this human vessel, so that you're able to live your life throughout the day, or through your experience as this kind of version of you, okay? This more loving, connected version of yourself. Now, the heart chakra is also responsible for your ability to have empathy for others, compassion, acceptance, appreciation of other people, okay, and yourself, okay, because this is what represents our ability to connect with others and ourselves, and to hold that compassion, love, acceptance, appreciation for ourselves and others, okay? Our heart chakra then is responsible for our ability to love ourselves and others, and to be able to give and receive in balance, okay? Yes, because what do I need to say? Okay, yeah, so this is the part that helps us to give and receive love, okay? Our heart chakra is also the place where we are able to hold greater peace inside of ourselves, and to be able to process or move through grief when we've experienced it, and to come back to that peace and wholeness again, okay? So that is what it also represents, because if you think about it as well, when we lose someone that we love, we feel it here in this space. We feel it in our hearts. We feel that pain of that lost loved one, right? And so this is the center where we oftentimes process that grief. It could be connected to your sacral as well and other places, but this is where a lot of times we process all of that grief, and we heal from that, and we're able to come back to peace again, and an understanding of oneness again, even in that situation or that kind of experience, okay? And last but not least, our heart chakra is also responsible for our ability to be able to be more self-reflective, to have this capacity to discern our inner guidance, our soul's guidance, our higher self's guidance from other things, from ego, right? So we're able to be very self-reflective and come into what feels right, what feels aligned, that intuition. This is the space where that happens. And when I do a lot of, healing, I'm a psychic, I'm a healer. I do shamanic journeying when I work with people and myself. And usually when I connect to my higher self or my soul, or I am connecting to a desire of mine that is really a deep heart aligned desire, a soul aligned desire, I usually get taken into my heart chakra, because this is the kind of portal that we have to connect us to that spiritual version of ourselves, that higher self, that soul, and to our desires, our heart-centered desires, to be able to manifest them, in a sense, because we are bridging the divine spiritual desires that we are being given with the earthly plane, with the material realm, if that makes sense. So this is what happens here in the heart chakra space, okay? Now, when the heart chakra is overreactive, okay, so your heart chakra is just like, it has too much energy in it, then what happens here is that that can oftentimes manifest in the form of being very jealous, okay? Being very jealous, having this tendency to be overgiving, to, again, it's not, you're not, remember, this place is about giving and receiving, right? So when your heart chakra is overreactive, then you will overgive. You see a lot of times people overgiving and trying to save everyone or rescue people, be the hero of the day for everyone, always just people pleasing and always being the yes person and just doing so much for others. They're overgiving because their heart chakra a lot of times is overreactive. So when you have these kinds of tendencies, that's how you know you have more than likely some kind of heart chakra imbalance you have to take a closer look at. And as I said in my previous video in the solar plexus chakra, a lot of these chakras sometimes are intertwined, like they're entangled. Like if one is off, it's usually connected to another, okay? So don't be surprised when you see similarities in the symptoms between the different chakras. So again, when this is overactive, you will be overgiving, you will try to be a savior. That's that kind of like martyr archetype, the rescuer. You will be a people-pleasing kind of person, codependent. You just too much, too much is going on there, right? Also with the heart chakra, when it's overreactive, you might be overly judgy, overly critical. You might hold intense grudges or resentments. You might be very unforgiving of other people, right? This can lead you to be very defensive as well, very protective. You can even become antisocial or even an abuser when this is out of balance here, okay? And it's interesting because since I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, especially, what I notice, one of the things that really holds spiritual entrepreneurs back, especially healers, yes, healers especially, is they have a lot of blocks around their heart chakras. They have this wall up a lot of times around their heart chakra in some kind of way, and this keeps them from being able to receive clients, money, opportunities. It keeps them from being able to receive or attract new followers, potential prospects, things like that. It keeps them invisible, even when they're taking action and creating content or videos or whatever. They have a wall around their heart chakra, and this keeps them from being able to attract these people in their lives. And you don't have to be a spiritual entrepreneur or an entrepreneur at all. This is for anyone. A lot of people do have walls up around their hearts, and this is why they can't attract their dream relationship. This is why they, have oftentimes they manifest a lot of difficult people in their lives that they constantly feel like they're battling with, they're fighting with, right? That defensiveness, because they have walls up. If you have a wall up, obviously someone's trying to get in, you're trying to keep them out. So you're going to manifest, people that you have this friction with when you have walls up, right? So this is the way I see that it plays out a lot of times with people. Okay, let me know if that made sense in the comments below. Now, when your heart chakra is underactive, okay, you have a weak heart chakra. When you have this weak heart chakra, a lot of times that will cause you to be emotionally closed off. So maybe you've seen people in movies or in real life that are just emotionally closed off, like they're just unavailable emotionally. You cannot connect with these people, okay? This is oftentimes because they have an underactive or a weak heart chakra, okay? There's also, when you have a weak heart chakra, this can manifest as you having a fear of intimacy, and being vulnerable, right? When you're vulnerable, you're allowing yourself to become more intimate with another person, right? You're developing a greater, stronger connection. But when you have this fear of intimacy, when you have this fear of vulnerability, then quite oftentimes that is an underactive heart chakra. It's some kind of heart chakra imbalance. And this keeps you from really connecting to other people, because again, this energy center here is all about our connection with other people, with ourselves, being able to empathize with them, being able to relate to them, this kind of thing. So when we have this difficulty, this challenge with being vulnerable and becoming more intimate with others, we have some kind of imbalances going on here, right? And obviously that's going to make it very difficult for us to create the kinds of relationships that we truly desire to have on a conscious level, right? Because we're not allowing for that, okay? When you have a weak heart chakra or some heart chakra imbalance, because your heart chakra is under active, then this can oftentimes manifest in the form of victimization. So maybe you're very deeply connected to some kind of victimhood story, and feeling like the victim always to your circumstances, to how others treat you, and always just staying in this role of feeling like a victim, right? Now, one of the things that I do my best to promote in my work is to really validate people's experience and their emotions and what's going on for them, right? So I don't want you to think that there's anything wrong with you feeling like someone wronged you or someone hurt you or just bad things happen to you. I understand that 100%. But when you don't heal that stuff and you instead choose to remain in that state of victimization, then that is when you're holding yourself back and keeping yourself from really being able to create the life that you desire. So a lot of times people who stay in that state of victimization and they repeat that story again and again, it's quite often because they have some kind of heart chakra imbalance. Maybe their heart chakra is underactive in this moment, and that's why they're falling into that victimization in that way. Another way that you can have a heart chakra imbalance that signals that your heart chakra is weak or is underactive is when you recognize that you like to remain isolated a lot of times. You like to be a recluse. You're kind of a bit of a loner. You just kind of stay to yourself. So when you notice these kinds of tendencies, then there is a high probability that you have an underactive heart chakra there, okay? Because, yeah, you're trying to keep away from people. You're trying to just stay by yourself, which is a lot of times ironic, because a lot of times people do actually consciously want a connection, or they subconsciously want the connection, but they kind of separate themselves. They isolate themselves for whatever reasons. A lot of times it's to stay safe. So they hold themselves back, okay, from connecting with other people in this way. And they do it through that self-isolation, through being recluses. And as I mentioned earlier, when you have an chakra, you can become an abuser and abuse your loved ones with some form of manipulation or other ways of abusing them, right? In the name of love, right? There definitely have been abusers that say things like, I wouldn't hit you if I didn't love you so much, if I didn't care about you so much, right? So they do these things in the name of love, right? So that is when you have an overactive heart chakra. You can become an abuser tendency. When you have an underactive heart chakra, that's when you're the abused person. That's when you allow yourself to be abused in whatever way, in the name of love, right? So it's the opposites to that, okay? Some physical imbalances that develop when you have imbalances in your heart chakra are issues related to the organs that are near this area. Okay, so here in this space, you have the heart, the chest, the lungs, and then your heart is very much connected to your arms, the circulation of your arms and hands. So when you have issues with all of this general area here, then that is a sign that you have some heart chakra imbalances. So other ways in which the heart chakra imbalances can develop physically is you might have breast cancer. You might develop that. You might have heart disease and resolve in order to facilitate the improvement of your health, okay? So when you have heart chakra imbalances, what oftentimes happens is that you will feel unworthy, you'll have trust issues, you will have difficulty manifesting and receiving what you want, receiving your desires in that sense, because you don't feel worthy, right? So you will have trouble opening your heart to receiving these things because you're closed off because you don't feel worthy. You might experience loneliness. You might be very judgmental, very critical of yourself or others. You might lack compassion and empathy for other people. You might be impatient of other people. So these are signs of an imbalance in your heart chakra that you might have to take a closer look at. And one of the biggest challenges that comes with having a balanced heart chakra is that with your heart chakra, you have to try to seek that balance between not just having love of yourself, but having love of other people, but maintaining that balance so that you're not too in love with yourself and too in love with other people, if that makes sense. So this relates to overgiving, for example. You don't want to just love yourself so much that you become selfish, but you don't want to love other people so much that you become an overgiver and deplete yourself, right? You want to try to find that fine balance inside of yourself. And that's why your inner discernment is really, really important. And this is the center for your inner discernment, for your inner guidance, because again, it's the part of you that really strongly connects to your higher self, to your soul, and your higher self or your soul, they know what you need to do to find that balance, especially your higher self. There is a difference between the two. So your higher self definitely knows that there is a fine balance there between, being selfish versus overgiving, and knows when you need to give and step forward and when you need to pull back and set that loving boundary to honor yourself. And that's the biggest challenge with the heart chakra. I don't believe I mentioned this in my solar plexus video, the previous video to this, but the challenge with the solar plexus video, the challenge with the solar plexus chakra is that, again, the solar plexus is about exerting your personal power, your will, but it's the difference between, becoming dominating and domineering versus becoming passive and not doing anything and letting people walk all over you, right? It's about trying to find that fine balance and having that balance where you're able to set these loving boundaries so that you're not going from one extreme to the other, okay? So these are the challenges that oftentimes present themselves with the solar plexus chakra and with the heart chakra, okay? Now, some things that I want to mention with the heart chakra is this is really the place that I feel a lot of people have the most challenges with a lot of times. And I'm seeing that a lot right now, especially with what is happening at this moment in the world in regards to the conversation that we're having globally around racism and how we all need to collectively come together to the best of our ability to dismantle the systemic racism that exists in the world. And I feel like this is also why I was guided to speak on today on, what the best way to support racial equality without spiritually bypassing the Black Lives Matter movement, why I was asked to speak on that today, because it really, I've really been observing that there are a lot of really good, well-intentioned spiritual people who, even though they have a lot of spiritual knowledge and wisdom and they've been on the journey for a while and they've done all this healing and all these different things, they're not really fully connecting to their heart chakras, and they're not really extending compassion, understanding, empathy to people of color at this time and supporting them. So this is the part that we need to do our best to regularly come down into and to be able to lead in life from this space of love. That is ultimately what we're trying to learn right now at this time, is to learn to lead with love in all that we do and how we show up in the world. And what I notice a lot of times with working with people and supporting them in their healing is even very woke spiritual people, is a lot of times they're up here in their heads and they're not down here in their hearts. And when I work with people and I'm doing healing journeys with them, I can see that they're too stuck in their head. They're too stuck in their head, and they're not able to really connect to their deep pain, their deep trauma, the truth of the past experience that they had that's impacting them. They're not able to connect that, and I always have to assist them in helping them to come back down into their heart to access that truth, access those emotions, to release them, and access the higher perspective around the situation. And it's the higher perspective that is coming from their higher self, from source. And so this is what I feel a lot of people oftentimes have a challenge with, and what prevents them from really being able to truly heal on very deep and effective levels, and to really be able to create more of the life that they desire. So that is basically it for today. I really hope that this has helped you. I am Neva. Hey, Neva, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, please let me know. So that's basically it. I really hope that this has helped you. If it has, please give this video a thumbs up, a like wherever you're watching from. Be sure to drop me a comment in the comments below, letting me know how this video supported you today, what you learned from it, any questions you might have. I'm always happy and excited to hear from you guys. I totally forgot to turn on my ring light until just now. Oops. Dang it. And yeah, if you know of anyone who could benefit from this video today, please share this video out with them. It always just, is my intention to help people get on the path of, spiritual awakening, to support them on their spiritual journey, their healing journey. So if you know of anyone who could benefit from this, or any online spaces, please share this video out to help me reach other people and to support them on their journey. If you want to see more of my video teachings, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell button, and turn your settings to see all, so that you never miss out on a notification from me on my channel. Because if you just hit subscribe, you're more than likely going to miss the video I do. So make sure you hit that bell button and change your settings to see all, so that you never miss out. I will be coming on tomorrow to do the video teaching on the throat chakra. So that is what you can expect. I will have the playlist up here somewhere for the chakra series. If you want to learn about all the chakras and you want to go through them, be sure to go through that. And if you want to know what healing work you need to do to be able to become the highest version of yourself, reach your potential, be able to become so empowered inside of yourself that you're able to actually create your dream life in spite of whatever you have gone through, in spite of whatever is going on in your life, then I really encourage you to download my checklist, 101 Ways to Know You Need Healing Work. This is a checklist which details 101 ways in the form of behaviors, thought patterns, experiences, actions that you might explain that are highly indicative of deeper healing work that you might need to do. So if you want to download that, be sure to look at the comment section of this video. That link to my checklist to sign up for that will be pinned to the top of this video, and you can click on that to sign up. And you will also receive additional emails that will support you with that checklist, to process that checklist, understand some of the things on that checklist, and other amazing offers that I'm going to do as I, get guided to do them. And if you want to actually, you're ready to do the very deep levels of healing work you need to do to change your life completely and radically transform yourself, then I encourage you to join me in my Remembering Who You Are program. This is a very powerful 12-week program that really helps you to massively elevate your consciousness, to do very deep levels of healing work. My healing work is no joke. It is very powerful stuff. And to really just help you connect more deeply with your higher self and embody more of your higher self to create the life that you desire. So whatever it is that you want to create in life, I help you to do the very deep levels of healing work in that program, to understand what it is you hold within yourself that is keeping you out of alignment with your desires, healing through that, releasing that, helping you to step into your power to know that you can create what you want in that area of your life, and you start aligning every area of your life one by one to be able to do that. I have some testimonials here on my YouTube channel that you can check out on that. So there is a channel titled Testimonials that you can check out about that program, and to hear other people's experiences of how it's changed their lives. And that is basically it. So I start this round of Remembering Who You Are on July 1st, 2020. So if you're interested, I really suggest that you come and join me now, because I will probably only do this program live 2-3 times, and then it'll be self-study. So a self-study program. So if you want to work with me live and you want to just have my direct support and helping you radically change your life, I really suggest that you come and join me, especially because this round of Remembering Who You Are is going to include ancestral healing, which is very interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you. I really hope that this has been of great value to you, and I will see you online tomorrow. Bye.